Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So according to Microsoft, support for Windows 10 will end on the 14th of October next year, 2025, which means, as we have been posting on the channel, the operating system will no longer receive security and quality updates. And as you may well know, Windows 11 has very strict hardware requirements. So if you can't upgrade to Windows 11, then just a video to give you a couple of options in case you are unaware. Now, what I'm going to do at first is, because we have been discussing the so-called end of Windows 10 quite in depth on the channel, I'll leave a playlist here in the end screen if you'd like more info, because I've posted quite a lot of content if you'd like some more info regarding the end of support of Windows 10 in October next year. So here's a couple of options you have if you find that you cannot move on to Windows 11 because of the system requirements. Now, in no particular order, first of all, you can upgrade your hardware. So if your computer doesn't meet the system requirements of Windows 11, you can use, as you may well know, Microsoft's PC Health Check tool to check parts that need upgrading, hardware components that need upgrading. So as an example, in my case, this Windows 10 device does not meet the system requirements because it doesn't have TPM2 and the processor isn't currently supported for Windows 11. So basically, as an example, I would need to then have to upgrade to at least an 8th generation Intel processor or newer to meet Windows 11's minimum system requirements in this case. But this is an easy way to check what hardware components can be upgraded if one or two of them do not meet those system requirements. But obviously that can be a little bit daunting and not a perfect situation. So as Microsoft wants you to do, they want you to go out and buy a new machine that obviously has Windows 11 already pre-installed on it, and that has been met with quite a lot of debate, which I've been posting on, because there could be a lot of landfills and e-waste that are filled up after the October cutoff date next year. But I have posted on that, and that's not what I'm going to get into today. But you can obviously run out and get a new PC, which is not going to be optimum for a lot of current Windows 10 users. And then you can pay for extended support, okay? And I have covered this in a previous video. It'll be in that playlist for the end of Windows 10, where for home users you can pay $30 for security updates for a year until 2026. And I actually think that's a good option. And I'm actually going to go for that ESU $30 extra year of support when support does run out for the purpose of this channel. And in case you're unaware, ESUs normally provide critical patches for vulnerabilities that ensure your machine remains safe from threat and attack after the general support ends, as you may well know. Then, of course, you can force the upgrade, which I don't recommend, and nor does Microsoft. But you may also know there are many ways you can install Windows 11 on unsupported machines. You can use Rufus as an example, just to mention one simple example. But obviously this is something you do at your own risk, is forcing the upgrade, which can be done. But just remember, when you force an upgrade, there's no so-called guarantee. So just keep that in mind. And then something else you can do is you can migrate over to Linux or Chrome OS Flex. I've spoken about this. Go check that playlist out. And the nice thing with Linux is, like as an example, Linux Mint, Pop OS, Ubuntu, Linux Lite, just to mention a couple of examples, Zorin OS, they don't need a powerful computer to run smoothly, unlike Windows 11. So there are a lot of Linux distros that can run smoothly on older devices. As an example, this device that I'm currently using, which according to Microsoft works fine on Windows 10, but doesn't meet the system requirements to run Windows 11. And then something else to take into consideration is you can repurpose your old Windows 10 device. So just to mention two simple examples for this video, you can set up a home theater as an example, or you could turn your old PC into a so-called retro gaming machine and install retro games which don't need the internet to function. So that's just two simple examples, but you can repurpose your old Windows 10 PC. And then something I have posted on previously is you can ignore the deadline. So when support ends next year on the 14th of October 2025, if you're like me and your Windows 10 device does not meet the system requirements, you can, as I mentioned, ignore the deadline. So the old saying applies in this instance: if it isn't broken, why fix it? But obviously this does come with its own risks. And I have posted a whole video for tips for using Windows 10 securely after support ends, which I'll leave linked down below and in the end screen. So if you want to ignore the deadline, go check that video out. There are a good couple of tips we have spoken of for using Windows 10 securely after support ends. So guys, that's just a quick rundown of a couple of things you can do if you cannot upgrade to Windows 11 next year in 2025 after that end of support date in October. And once again, let me know in the comments if you've got any other suggestions. I'd like to hear those. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.